Good morning, guys. I apologize, a little late here. My internet, as you guys know, I've been dealing with internet stuff for a while, and I think we got it fixed. And it was funny because I actually tried to upgrade it, and it's running great. But I literally got off the phone with them like 10, 15 minutes ago, and all of a sudden, all of my internet went out, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So apparently, he had to restart the ONT. If anybody who is in telecommunications, you guys know what that is. And he didn't tell me. So I was sitting there freaking out thinking that I had no internet. But we are back. Let's get started here. I'm going to get a little water. So I want to kind of do something a little bit different. We're going to talk about the SPY and everything, but like, holy BTC. So you guys, anybody who's trading crypto right now, I mean, just like I said, be very, very careful taking any of your shorts right now because there's just so much momentum. But this, I'll tell you, it was anybody else that was watching crypto, man. This is what I love about crypto. Out of nowhere, if we go down to like the 5 minute, I'll bet you, yeah, right there, this candle. So I was watching this candle as I was watching it go from 31, and I was like, I have my trading view watch list. I'm like, man, this is pretty cool. And I wasn't trading it. I'd only do really spot trades on like BTC that I hold and stuff, right? So I get excited on that. But I mean, look at this. This is a 5 minute candle, and it went from 32.3 all the way to 34.7. Like, that is insane. I actually saw it. What's funny is I was sitting there and I was in my living room doing something, and I happened to look, and I was like, oh, cool, Bitcoin's climbing 32, like you guys know yesterday. Mute this. You guys know yesterday I was trying to I was kind of predicting that we would hit that 32.8, maybe 33, and then get a rejection, but the various news that came out just had other plans, man. It's just, and that's the beauty of crypto is, once there's so many people eager for a bull run to happen, it's not even funny. And so any kind of sign that we're just going to go parabolic like this just gets everybody on board. So the interesting thing to me, guys, is this trend line. You can see the trend line is viable. I mean, if you look at the trend line that we drew, right, we were anticipating a possible head bump right there. But if you look at the 5 minute, you guys notice we always talk about this, right? When you see strength in it, which is what caused that second move north, look at the retest. I mean, it literally exploded through it, instantly rejected. I mean, look at, if you caught this long and this short right here, I mean, that's just so much money. But look at the retest. You have a little bit of an inverse head and shoulder. You have the retest of that same trend line. And bam, just right back up we go. I mean, we capped out or peaked out at what, 35,280, and it's just holding some strength, man. It's pretty nuts. So congrats to anybody who caught that. So I mean, even me, like yesterday, I was talking about when we were talking about these higher lows and this movement north and everything, I had called almost guaranteed that we were going to hit up into this trend line around 32.7, 32.8, but even I didn't see it popping up this much. That's pretty nuts. Again, my same advice, man, is just don't chase these things. Wait for pullbacks. Even if you want to trade this push, right? See how you had the push, you had a pullback. Trade the push, pullback. Trade the push, right? You had a falling wedge breakout. But it's going to hit its head, and that pullback is going to be pretty fast, just like Bitcoin loves to do. So we can go to the daily, and you can see we're at that territory now where we were hitting that prior heavy support areas, right, from the past. And so typically that could hold as potential resistance. Now, there's that chance that we could continue to push north, and we can hold that 35, 34.5 as support, and then, man, that would just go freaking bananas. I mean, talk about bull run back, right? But you gotta you don't get too excited. Clear the emotions. You gotta look at the technicals, right? And we are just so overbought. It's not even, I mean, we're almost at like, it's 89. So, and you can look here. I mean, we were 89 right there, right? And you see how we had that divergence bleed, but we still climbed north. Now, this is where the divergence played out, and this is what I'm kind of referring to, is you have to watch for that divergence to begin to happen. Once you see that divergence begin to happen, right, you know that a pullback's coming, and it could just be a higher low, just like here. I mean, you can easily take, you know, just a lower trend line like this, right? And just tell yourself that if we break back below here, right, even if it's over this way, if we get up to 36, 37, 38, I mean, a pullback to 28, 29 is not impossible for us to continue higher. So just watch for that divergence. That's going to be the one that's going to tell you. So I don't typically cover crypto first, but man, crypto is something else. On to, you know, less exciting news. It's interesting. I wanted to talk briefly about this. I mentioned it yesterday, guys, and I think it's important to know that it's funny how inverse or out of sync everything is. Typically, I'm going to say typically, if Dixie goes up, market goes down. Dixie goes up, VIX goes up, market goes down. Market goes down, Bitcoin goes down. If the SPY goes down, Bitcoin goes down. If the SPY goes up, Bitcoin goes up. That's just, I mean, it's literally been the correlation for like ever. But Bitcoin with the recent news has kind of decoupled, right? It's on its own. I mean, you got your kind of inverse head and shoulder here. It's breaking out, neckline retest. I mean, just the news. I mean, I mean, you got to think about this. Like, if you look at, let's say even back here, right, in March 11th, we were at 20,000. I mean, it's gone up, you know, I mean, we're almost getting close to double what it was. You go back to the SPY, and we go back to, I'll mute some of these. If you go back to that 1 hour, that's my arrows. It's funny when you go to the other time frames and they're huge. So you go back to March, right? If you look at, let's see, October, was that on the daily? That's why I was on the daily. Yeah, so we'll go back to March from the daily. Let me go back to the daily on the SPY. And okay. So you can see March around the same, right? We had that push north. You can see Bitcoin had the push north, but then you come into let's say like in this area here, right? September. So this is when it really started to push north again in September. But you look at September for the SPY was like right here, and it just, I mean, it was complete inverse. It just went nuts south. So you know, there was a time where I used to joke and I would trade the SPY or Bitcoin actually watching a SPY chart, but you can't do that anymore, which is awesome for crypto, right? Again, I hold strong on the SPY, guys, with this line here, 417.48. As long as we stay above this, I think that we have more up trend coming. I think this is going to be a super strong support, and you can see it's already holding. I mean, we literally, if you go down to the 5-minute that we trade, you can see it came down, hit it, bam, tried one more time with some momentum and instant recovery. I mean, just yesterday was such a bullish day, right, to the end. It was funny, actually. I'll tell you guys, I was putting it out in the room. What I was watching is I saw this kind of shoulder, possible head, right? We had, you know, it was somewhere around here. I was talking, I'm like, man, this could be a shoulder, right? But then this is why we talk about not getting blinded on too much on one pattern, right? Because I was watching a potential bull flag that was coming down like this, right, from our pump up and then our parallel down. But then when I saw this candle right here, it was something around this one after it pumped up and it couldn't do it and it just lost that whole push. That's when I was like, holy cow, we actually have a head and shoulders. And so that's why I put it on here, right? Could have a smaller head and shoulders on the 5-minute. Let's see which plays out. We have a larger inverse head and shoulder, but you have the head and shoulder. The head and shoulder played out perfectly, right? You had remember we always talk about on your take profits, right? You have your reclaim of the other side. Then from there, the after hours has been pushing north. So we do have a little bit of bearish divergence going on, obviously, because you can see you got, you know, equal highs here. We have a lot lower highs there. So we don't want to ignore that. I still think that we're going to come up and hit this trend line. If you look at this trend line here, I'm not even using indicators right now. It's just a simple trend line, right? You got 2 points right there. This is going to be our breakout trend line. I'm probably going to pull this one off. I was pulling this one here because it's kind of an early read, right? But I was looking at it to see if we get some kind of a fall coming up here on market open, this could set up a potential like a kind of a bear flag situation, right? Where we might get a push, a break up north, and then have another rejection on that. So I'll be following that in the room. The upper trend that we have, which is a little stronger, you have this point and this point. If we break this one, it's almost certain we'll work our way up to this area, which will be back to about that 430, 432 range. If we break that one, obviously, then we can go up to that 439. This 439 is going to be a little stronger, I think, because it continues on if we get up to that area. So, but at the same time, right now, I mean, we could simply range. Sometimes when we hit these lower levels like this, it could do that a few times. So we'll just want to keep that in mind. So as we're trading it, we'll trade what we see and just kind of go from there. If we look at the harmonic tracker, we did have that short. It has not flipped to that long. We do have a lot of resistance order blocks in here, a lot of support order blocks in there. It's a little indecisive on that. So on the Bollinger and the zone tracker, you can see this is what I wanted to point out. I put out in the insights. We are still in that death cross. We have the 200, we have the 21 SMA. Since this fall, we finally flipped it yesterday. It kind of lost it, but then it reclaimed it in the after hours. So we are still above that 21 SMA. So we could get a pullback as low as 21.68 or so. But we are blue here, right? So if we get a pullback there and we gain some support on that, the next move north should be pretty strong. The only way I see a strong southern movement back down to that 417, 416 is if we flip back below that 421.59 and we get a close below that, then we're going to at least come back to retest this 420. But I think at that point it could potentially break. But you can see, I mean, we have a big upside for the zone tracker here. I mean, this is on the 1 hour, so it could take a couple days or even a week before something like that plays out. But definitely something we want to note. And we are coming out of the green zone on the RSI, so looking pretty good there. Let me take a look at the gap fill sniper. So we've been a little too bearish, but not quite bearish gap fill. Our moving average, we are red, but we are flipping gray. So when it flips gray, it typically is a sign of a potential reversal into some strength. So on that 1 hour, you can see here, right, when it went red and then it went gray, right, because we were kind of going sideways and then kept you safe on that reversal up. So that's definitely one of the indicators I do like using now. And then obviously we have the heat map, right? So the heat map, we have the downtrend that it had called on the break south here. If you go to the lower time frame, I wanted to point out, I was talking about this yesterday on the 5 minute. So this was our play yesterday. We actually broke the heat map going up. We rode this up the whole way. Got a couple puts on there. But at the end of the day, we're still green in that heat map. So for us to flip this heat map, it would have to get below 421.30, which is around the number that I was talking about. So that's going to be my key level. But as of now, aside from the divergence that I see, I still tend to lean a little more bullish, but I think that we're going to have a little bit of a bumpy ride north. So although I may be bullish, I'm going to be patient to wait for those pullbacks. So that's kind of what I got on the SPY, guys. Again, like I said, I will have the room open at 9:15 like normal. So we did our testing yesterday, and everything looks good. So we will be trading at normal time. So if you guys are on TikTok or YouTube, if you guys want to come in, all you got to do is go to botjock.com. Looks like this. And then when you go to the trading floor, we have our, this is where we do all of our discussions and such like that. So I'll put out the Google Meet info at 9:15. If you guys want to come out and trade with us, come in and trade with us. Hang out. So should be an awesome day of trading. I'm curious to see if for the first time in a while, Bitcoin kind of leads the charge on this, the putting people wanting to put into the start buying into the stocks as well. So I do want to mention one thing, guys, on this Tesla. I was looking at this. You do have your inverse head and shoulder. If y'all remember yesterday, those who joined, when we were sitting, I think we were right about here. we had talked about if this level holds, right, we can get a nice little push north, and we had mentioned that there was this lower block that it could come. Actually, around 208 was what I was looking for. We did get a wick past that down to 204, but look at the reclaim was really strong, and there's a lot of bullish divergence coming through. So we may get a good continue push back up on Tesla. I mean, up to about 238 or so. So if we continue to hold that strength, it could be a really good call play for anybody that wants to play Tesla. Again, if you guys are also in the room or you're on TikTok, remember if you're trading options and you struggle, or you're having trouble with creating orders, or the brokerages are a little tough to understand, or if you're new and you're just kind of watching, if you go into your trading ATA, this is the technology we create. When you come down into here, you'll see a button that has create, right? These are our test accounts. If you hit a create button, this is linked directly to my Tasty Trade brokerage. I can literally choose my symbol that I want to trade, put in my volume of contracts, put in my direction, you put in the strike price, percent, it'll do the math for you, choose the date when you want it to expire, hit create, and it's like instant. Like we've been working with the Tasty Trade support team, and they gave us a kind of a good logic that prioritizes the closes due to the API. And so the moment you hit create, like within a second it opens it, within a second it closes it. All of your trades actually open right on your dashboard here, so you don't even have to go on the brokerage. It makes it super simple. So if you guys are interested in that, you get all this technology. We don't charge for what we teach or hanging out with us or trading with us. We charge for our technology. So if you want to use the technology, it's $47 a month. So I mean, you can make that in one trade with ease, as you guys all know. So our goal is to have the technology help guide you. You'll have the indicators in here, but also to make your life a little simpler. So I mean, I use this. It's so much better than going on the actual brokerage and dealing with all that. So if you guys have more questions, again, you guys, I wanted to point out one other thing here, because I have not talked about it. This is more for the people who are new watching this on TikTok or YouTube. So if you go to botjock.com/access, this is the site we're going to start promoting for BotJock. You can book a private demo. What does that mean? That means you're going to literally book onto my calendar, and I will meet with you for 30 minutes. I will answer any questions you have. I will show you what BotJock has to offer, and make sure that you're comfortable with everything that you see. Super easy to do. All you do is you go in here, you book private demo, talks about it. You can choose your time and your date of whatever works with you. And the best part is, once we're done with the demo, you'll get an email with a coupon that will give you 75% off of your first month. So if you do the $47, I mean, you're well under $20. If you do the larger one, right, is a good opportunity to use that coupon for. So because we want you really to come in and to really check it out and be comfortable with what we're doing. So, but I appreciate you guys' time. I'm gonna jump off here. I'll open up the room in about 10 minutes, and we'll see you guys soon.